Hey guys, this is Thomas from Nurse Money Talk. Now in the podcast, I've already went over kind of like how like the right way to quit your nursing job. And one of the things I did talk about in that podcast was about making sure to have a nurse resignation letter. Now, of course, because it's an audio platform, it was really hard to I think it's really hard to kind of get across like everything I was talking about and how to lay out that resignation letter. So that's what I'm going to do in this particular video. We're going to probably talk a little bit about quitting your nursing job, but primarily show you an example or examples of a nurse resignation letter and where you can actually find those examples. And the way these are written and set up is that honestly, you can really grab them, change up like some wordings or whatever, tailor them to what fits you, and then use them to honestly make things easier for you. So before I get to it, please take a second to subscribe to the video. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our next videos. And then let's get started to the example. Okay, so to get to the resignation example, there's a couple different ways you can get to it. So you can use the look at the description below this video. We'll have it on there. You can also type and then if you do that, it'll be either the first or second choices. So it'll be right there, but there it is right here. Example of a resignation letter for nurses. Another way you can get to it is you can go to nursemoneytalk.com, and then in the search bar up top, if you just type in resignation letter. Oh, well, I guess it would help if I spelled resignation correctly. And then it'll be right there, example of a resignation letter for nurses template. Now, if you're looking at this, and as you just kind of go through, I kind of go over some information right there, go over what is a resignation letter, which we already know what that is. And then, then I look at the parts that are included in a nurse resignation letter. So you could be looking at your formal letterhead, salutations, your intro, a body paragraph, a conclusion, and then you're looking at your formal sign off with ideally a signature and then a type name and date. And then you'll kind of get like a visual of what I'm talking about right here, and kind of like this mock-up template where this is pretty much all spelled out, kind of like how I mentioned it before. And then when you're on here, I give you an opportunity to, you can pick this up as well if for whatever reason you just don't like reading it for the web, reading on the web, and you'd rather have it in a kind of like a PDF style. There's an opportunity to get it right there. And then as you kind of go down, then you start getting to the resignation letters, and then you then start seeing let me actually put these side by side. And so what I wanted to put side by side is get to kind of like this template that I had up here, where really and I know this is fairly formal, and a lot of that is because it is a formal letter. So I would personally put in like the address up there, or at least I have done that in the past. So
the address. Then you have this date of when you're actually giving it to them. Then you have whoever it is that you're actually giving it to. So whether that's like your your supervisor, your manager, director, whoever it is that you're actually giving it to. And then you have the address of the facility, and then you start going to the intro, or the salutation, if you will. So, dear Mr. Smith. And then, at this point, then the point of these letters is really like, it's very direct. It's very to the point. So I'm submitting this letter to formally inform you of my resignation from my current position at General Hospital, and then it's effective on this date, which you'll notice is going to be 2 weeks, because that's generally the time that you want to give, is roughly about 2 weeks from the date that you give it. So this is kind of why I like having this date up there, is because especially in situations where like there's a policy in place and you have to have this 2 weeks in there, or at least 2 weeks or whatever. It doesn't have to be 2 weeks. It's just whatever your, the time that they want you to give. This way, there's kind of no misunderstanding at all. Like, this is the day I'm giving it to you, and then this is the 2 weeks or however time frame from that particular point. And I think I just said 2 weeks, but I think this one was written for a longer time frame. But the point being that, whatever date you give it, whatever your actual resignation date is, whether that's 2 weeks, some places it's a month, depending on your title, it could actually be more than a month. You just want to make sure that this kind of coincides to that, and I guess it was 6 weeks time frame. So I have enjoyed my time at General Hospital over the last few years. I've learned a tremendous amount, allowing me to become a better nurse. The rest of the staff have been like family, as have the patients. I will always appreciate the opportunity that you and the hospital gave me when I first accepted this position. So right there showing, so you're very direct that you're giving, I am resigning, and then this is going to be the date that I will be leaving. And then, so direct to the point, no misunderstanding there. You then start showing gratitude for just the opportunity to have been, to have worked there, just whatever. So just showing gratitude for that. And then over the next 6 weeks, I will gladly help in any way to help make the transition easier for you, the hospital, my coworkers, and the patients. So depending on, this is going to be really critical depending on what position you're in, especially if you have a very specialized position or duty that you've been doing that nobody else has been doing, or very few people know about. Then it's going to be beneficial to them to help train whoever is going to come in and replace that. It shows a lot of goodwill, and if for whatever reason you ever decide that you want to come back, or for whatever reason, then this keeps that door open, because especially if that manager is still there, or the people are still there, then they'll remember, okay, this person was very helpful when they were leaving. And then you thank them again for thank you for your support. I wish you and the rest of the staff at General Hospital the best. Sincerely, Jane Doe RN staff nurse. And then, you would ideally throw a signature somewhere there. So, ideally how this would work is you would write it, you would print it out, you would sign it, and then you would give it to, deliver it to whoever it needs to be given to. You could email this as well. Then I would honestly probably follow a general, layout as well for the email as well. I give a couple of other examples as well, and then I also kind of go into just kind of some general questions as well that has to do with writing a nurse resignation letter, whether or not you should or shouldn't have it, kind of like best practices and whatnot. I will also kind of throw in here as well, while I'm here, that if you are resigning and you don't have a job lined up yet, or you're still looking, we do have a job board as well that you can then go check out and look for jobs or whatnot in your particular area.
Hey, so I hope you found that. I hope you find those examples helpful. And so I'll put in the description below where you can go to find those examples. And but the easy way, of course, is just going to nursemoneytalk.com, and then in the search bar up top, you can then just type nurse resignation letter, and then you'll be able to find it. Or you can go on Google and type Nurse Money Talk and then put resignation letter, and then you'll be able to find, it'll show up. It'll be like the first one or two tabs, and then you'll be able to get access to that as well. So once again, thank you so much for listening and watching, I should say, and then I will catch you in the next video.